Sunday the 21st of February. That means I've been here a month, which I didn't realize till just now. I mean, it flew by. I mean, half of that was in quarantine and that did not fly by, but I guess that makes sense then. It's only been 2 weeks since quarantine. Yeah, we've done 2 days of language study, and I'll do like a month of it more. I was really excited to start, and now I'm less excited. I really want to learn as much as I can, and the method we do it, while frustrating, like they call it like total physical response or whatever, so it's a lot of different senses, listening, looking first, and then repeating, and then acting and out and stuff like that. Like, it makes sense. I didn't expect it to be quite so frustrating as it is. I'm really nervous that I'm gonna start crying in class, and I haven't yet. There's been a couple times where, I don't know, like I couldn't pronounce something, or sometimes our teacher will correct a pronunciation, and I won't hear the difference. So I'm like, that's what I said. Like, I don't know how to change it if I don't hear the difference. So that's frustrating. And then I feel like they have it kind of accelerated for us people that are only here for a shorter term, because we can't spend as long, the half the time we're here in language. Anyway, so it's kind of overwhelming. Like, every day I just feel like my brain's exploding, and like, everyone's really nice and encouraging, so it's really just like my internal criticism and attitude about it. So I don't know, trying to have encouraging thoughts and be like, failure's okay, we can fail for a month, I'll survive. It's just, I mean, that's not something many people are comfortable with, failing. And probably my biggest weakness in like like working environment, or like team, or like under someone's leadership, is criticism. And even when, like, all of this is constructive criticism, but it's really been hard for me to not take it personally. Or our class only has like 5 of us in it, and so I've been struggling with comparing myself to where they are at versus like what I can say, because some things seem to come easier to some of them, versus I'm like, I don't remember what we were supposed to say. Yeah, but I have less experience learning languages than they do. And again, like, it's not a competition, so yeah. So the setup we've been doing is kind of class from like 8 to noon in the morning. We learn a lot of vocabulary, we practice saying things, and then after lunch we usually meet back up and do some sort of cultural experience or tour. So they've only done one of those so far, and they took us to a tour of like 3 of the villages across the street. New Camp, Hata Magu, and I do not remember the name of the last one. We were going to go to Fort, but the one in the middle, called 5 Block, apparently there's some unrest right there, and so it wasn't safe for white people to show up on that day. Yeah, so like today's Sunday. I skipped church this morning. I think I was just really overwhelmed with starting everything last week, and so I just slept a lot this weekend, but I'm feeling better about it now. I feel pretty caught up in sleep. But we do play soccer, and like we have like a full size game that happens every Sunday afternoon. And last week, I'm trying to remember, it was 2 weeks ago or not, I pulled a hip muscle in warm up, and then I tried to play for a little bit, and it just got really bad. So I only played like 10 minutes, and then I came home, iced it, pouted. It's like one of those things where like something like that's what I look forward to all week. It's like my release. Yeah, so I was disappointed. But I tried really hard to rest it and ice it and take ibuprofen and be good this week. And so today I played, and I can kind of every once in a while I'd be like, that's a little tender. But I played the whole game, and I feel good now. And it was really fun. I was really a striker for a while. I haven't done that in a long time. I didn't score, but man, I came really close a lot of times. Doesn't count if it doesn't go in, whatever. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I made carrot cake with fresh carrots I got from Carrot. I got from Market. The only words I can remember well are the ones that sound just like English. So I made carrot cake, and it's more like a carrot loaf bread. Well, it's cake. I baked it in a bread pan, so it kind of feels like banana bread, but carrot. It's really good. It's moist and yummy. And I made cream cheese frosting, which I haven't done. And it's good. Oh, this one thing I keep forgetting to tell people is our power here goes off. I don't know. It feels at least every day. Sometimes multiple times a day. There's probably been some days when it hasn't. But it's always really brief because we have generators that kick in. But it still kind of shocks me because you're like, what? Yeah, it usually only lasts for like 30 seconds or less, or the longest is, less than that. 10 seconds. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear, I was like, you can't hear the birds right now. Thank goodness. Sometimes there's a big tree where all the macaws, I think they're macaws. Someone said they were like parrots, and they told me what they're called, and somehow the only thing I remembered was like, it's like parrots. Which someone does have a pet parrot, which scares people. Like intentionally, it flies around. Anyway, scares people. But there's a tree where they all gather on some evenings and mornings, and there's probably like hundreds, and they're so loud together. The only thing I can hear right now is the cicadas, which I'm used to that because it sounds like Tennessee. I will say it is a little harder here with sound because all our windows are just screens and then glass panes, but I always have mine open so that there's airflow and it keeps it cooler. So how much does a screen keep noise out? Not at all. Yeah, so it's like sometimes the pitch of it is just like that perfect pitch of things. I was telling someone during quarantine, my fire alarm battery started beeping. So the fire alarm was going off like every couple minutes. So it wasn't continuous enough that like I thought it was my fire alarm, but it has the same pitch as like some of the birds in the area, and it took me maybe an entire day to realize that it was not an extra annoying bird, but actually my fire alarm. Once I figured it out, I just took the battery out till I got a new one, and obviously it stopped. So I feel like that's a good like example of how crazy the bird noises are, that I would just let my fire alarm beep for all day. It started beeping at like probably like 4 in the morning too, and it woke me up. And I was like, man, and there's other birds, so I was like, I think it's the only noise. I would have figured it out. But it was happening at the same time as lots of other birds. And I was like, man, that one's really extra annoying and loud and close. Like, I was like, man, it's like right outside my window or something. Like, I mean, I have nothing to scare them off with, but yeah. And what else is happening? It's my Lent. I got a painting. Here, I'll show you at market. The kitchen. Can you see that? Ooh. Yeah, a local guy, Mike, painted it. And ooh, that's kind of cool. And then I saw a similar one in someone's house. And I thought it was cool in their house. So then the next market, which market here is on Monday and Thursdays, for right outside our gate. The locals bring lots of veggies and fruit, and then they also bring like crafts, so things like bee limbs, which are the bags. So it's a colorful one I got recently. The ladies making yarn out of yarn, or baskets, which the guys make, or bracelets made out of gummies, it's like rubber, or yeah, painting. That's most of the crafts and things. Art, I guess they're not crafts. They're made out of yarn, the bags are, so it makes them like arts and crafts. Yeah, so I was like, I asked about it the next time because it wasn't there, which that was a process because do I speak Topisan? Not really. I understand a decent amount, I feel like. I mean, probably not more so than other people, but understanding it's pretty easy. Understanding some of it's pretty easy because a lot of it's based on English. The stuff that isn't, or if they talk really fast, I'm like, I did not catch that. But usually you know enough of the words in the sentence they said to like use context to figure out what they said. So the next time I wasn't even gonna look for it, but the artist came up and was like, you were looking for the painting? And I was like, oh, I was. And so he was like, look, I have it. And I didn't have enough quinoa with me, which quinoa is Papua New Guinea currency. So I told him I would bring enough quinoa because we have to do like cash orders, and they fill them on Monday morning-ish. So I told him I'd bring him money to Monday market. So he gave me the painting even though I didn't pay him yet, which I think it's fine. But it also almost feels like a little bit of a like, oops, what did I do culturally? So like loans and gifts and that sort of thing are kind of a big thing here. Because basically if the person can't pay you back, they feel shame over that, and so they just disappear out of your life until they can pay you back, which a lot of times is never. So I was like, this is kind of the opposite of a loan, is I owe somebody, which I'll pay him back, so we'll have still have a relationship, but I was like, ooh, first day I'm like by myself at the market, and I feel like I instantly like broke rules. I didn't, I checked with someone, but I was like, yeah. So that's kind of what's been going on recently. I don't know. This year is about getting out of my comfort zone. I just feel like I've already done that too much. Like I'm done. I've barely started. But everything here is outside my comfort zone. Which I knew it would be. And I was excited about the challenge. But it makes it so I have an option I really don't want to step out of my comfort zone. But it's been good so far. Yeah. Alright. That's all my ramblings for now.